Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested.
And Frank from Tested.
We are here at WonderCon. 2017. I think this is our first major pop culture convention we're at this year.
Yeah. You know how I know?
How do you know?
My feet are sore already. Too early in the season.
Yes. Well, to gear up for WonderCon and Comic-Con's here, we're going to go walk around the floor, show you what it's like if you can't be here, if you don't make it to a major convention, what it's like to walk through one of these places, check out some booths, check out some cosplayers, and talk about pop culture.
Let's see what we see.
All right, we're gonna head in this way. This is the big lobby. We're in the Anaheim Convention Center, where WonderCon's been here for I think about 7 years. Last year they changed.
It was in downtown LA because they were doing renovations here.
Right. Back where Kamikaze and other conventions are. But I like the Anaheim Convention Center.
I like it better here in Anaheim than when it was in LA. LA is a nice big convention center, but it was split into two halls. It was a little bit confusing where things were. Anaheim is like a really great convention place for this kind of a convention.
Well, there are so many hotels around the area. And food. Anyone who's been to a Comic-Con or a Dragon Con or even an Emerald City Comic-Con, like hotels are the toughest thing.
Yeah.
And Anaheim, because it's right next to Disney, everything's walkable, and I like there's so much space. We were just there in the lobby, and the lobby is a great place for cosplayers to hang out and for people to meet up and take photos.
That's air conditioned.
And it's AC.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is early in the season, so the weather isn't too nuts, but it's still warm.
All right, so this is the show floor. And it's always interesting to walk into a convention center. Like there are obviously panels.
If you go upstairs, they have the normal range of panels.
But see how big it is. It's mostly retailers these days. You know, people selling pop culture themed clothes, toys, and Artist Alley kind of flanks around it.
Yeah.
So why don't we start off by just heading over here?
Yeah. Speaking of retailers, it's our buddy Jerry Macaluso's Pop Culture Shock Toys. They do these great statues. I love this darkness.
Yeah.
I think I kind of want that darkness statue.
Well, it's going to come out pre-order now, Frank. It's going to be $1,000, but it's pretty amazing. It's great to catch up with these collectibles companies because, you know, sometimes the time between them announcing a toy like this and when they can actually deliver, it's going to be a couple months based on the pre-order business. These are limited volume businesses, but then they attack the new licenses.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just DC or just Marvel making these collectibles and they have their own distribution channels, you might not get a American Werewolf in Paris action figure. But when it's a small company...
You mean American Werewolf in London?
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, Jerry did some 6-scale American Werewolf in London that are great. And he did some 6-scale Thing, and there's some other cool ones.
Yes. EFX, FX Collectibles. They
More
have some
awesome
helmets.
Licensed, one-to-one replicas. I think those are all made excellent.
It's funny because you can see the official Ant-Man helmet, and then right there is an Ant-Man cosplayer wearing a helmet I think they probably made themselves. Very neat. Well, let's walk down the big aisle.
Sure.
This is a good crowd. It's
not too crowded. Like, you can still get around. This isn't like San Diego where you're just elbow to elbow and you're barely able to like inch through the convention floor. There's still a ton of room and you can see everything.
Yes. A convention of this size, which I think it's still probably on the bigger end of a exhibit hall.
But it's manageable big.
It's manageable. It's doable, I think, totally in one day.
Yeah.
And it's not just one type of business, not just retailers.
Yeah.
I would love to sweep left here and check out, because something that's been popping up that I'm definitely a fan of is art prints.
Yes.
So
you like your prints.
Yeah.
You need to have a room full or a building full of just walls to hang up all the prints you keep buying.
It's all in portfolios. I think this is the booth of the Hero Complex Gallery.
Yeah.
So people may have heard of like Mondo, based out of Austin.
Is this where you got me that Martian one for Christmas?
No, that was a Mondo.
Oh, that was Mondo?
That was an official Mondo one. And companies like this, Hero Complex out of LA, there's Nucleus Gallery, Cyclops Printworks, they get licenses as well to do, I guess you could consider these official
alternate movie posters?
Yeah, because they do have, like, if you have this poster, like Leon the Professional.
Ooh, I like that Voltron one.
The Voltron one, like the studio will never make a new poster for that.
Yeah.
But now independent artists get to do. Great, that's a really cool Blade Runner, by the way. I like this. So they'll get to do official posters and actually have the stamp of approval to say it's in collaboration with the studio. Definitely a place where I'm going to stop by later. And
you got to fill up your art collection that's sitting on the floor.
And then we're actually kind of in the middle between an artist alley and some of the retailers here.
This has a great, huge amount of artist alley. Like if you go to San Diego Comic-Con, they're all in one little area. There's just rows and rows of them.
And you can actually, it's where most of the fan interaction takes place between the creators and the fans. As at these tables, people are selling stuff, they're doing custom commissions. You do get a lot of like unofficial license and not licensed artwork, and there's an unspoken permission between the brand owners and the artists that they can sell a print with Wolverine on it or with Superman on it.
It's kind of that fine line that we've talked about before at places like Designer Con. Do you do an unlicensed kind of knockoff because you have a cool idea, or do you make something original?
Right.
And which of those things sells better in what sort of environment?
But it's always cool to see the original stuff too.
Oh, I love the original stuff.
And
there's nothing more inspiring to me than like original design robots and mech suits and space suits, and like I want that. I want the original stuff.
Yeah, you might get pulled in because you see a really cool rendition of Batman.
Yeah.
But once you flip through the artist's portfolio, you'll see like, wow, okay, you do a bunch of original stuff too, and more than just capes, right?
Yes.
Very neat. And then people use different mediums. We found that it's not just prints.
Not just flat artwork.
Not just flat artwork. We saw an artist earlier like etching with he
had like a razor blade on a piece of backlit glass. That was really neat. I want to try doing something like that.
And then of course, WonderCon is more than just about comics. And we find that these pop culture conventions are really about anything that people are fans of, from TV shows to cartoons, anime, and it's always a fun game to try to see what characters you can recognize.
No, even more fun is like, what the hell is that and what's it from?
Right.
And you have to try and figure out. There's still a lot that stumps me. Tons.
Yeah.
And it usually falls in the anime category.
Well, I don't have the time to keep up with the latest cartoons.
There's so much.
And the latest comics sometimes. So a lot of new characters I don't recognize. But it's always great to see that there's going to be always someone dressed as like the Team Fortress characters in classic video games like Street Fighter, or a version of Batman and Superman that I love from the Bruce Timm, the Paul Dini era. Let's continue walking.
I'm gonna go back over.
Yeah, let's go back over here. Oh, interactive booths.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's for the Exploding Kittens tabletop game. Oh, I like it.
That's so cool.
It's fun to see how different booths take on how to get attention, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a very interactive booth.
That's cool. I want to come back and check that out.
Yeah. I also like here you have the Geek Chic Marketplace.
Oh, you know what? Even though I'm not a big tabletop gamer, I'm always coveting these tables.
Well, they look like fine pieces of furniture.
These are like gorgeous crafted tables.
I know. I could never justify getting one of these just for my home, but I do like that they have their armory.
The
they sell the swords, the wooden swords, axes, hammers, things inspired by fantasy genre.
Yep.
I have a few of those at home as well.
Maybe one of these days I'll have to get one of those.
Let's go loop around. Yeah, continue. Just give you a sense of
So this
how
is
big.
just one half of the show floor.
Yep.
And then there's still another half which is about the same size.
And if you look up online, it's like what it costs to run a booth at WonderCon.
Yep.
To get a table.
I don't even know what it is.
It's not that expensive. You can get it for a couple $100.
Oh, really?
Which for some organizations, like you have the tables here. Yeah, it's technically in the back of the convention hall, but it's for groups to get together.
Yeah.
You have groups like
and
the
unlike
Ghostbusters,
San Diego, you could actually get the booth.
Exactly, right? You don't have to have a meeting place outside the convention. If you have Anime Los Angeles, ALA, you can have a table and a booth here.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see, like, these are the fandom.
Yeah, these are all the group get-togethers. Is
right.
that the 405th over there, maybe?
I don't know.
No?
Different conventions even have their booths. LawsCon, Science Fiction Coalition, and then our friends here, even at the BB-8 Builders Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The BB-8 guys are here, and then the R2 guys are right there.
Oh, they're
For
across
some
the
reason,
way.
their booths got split up this year.
Cool. There's a Robotech group here.
Oh, that's cool.
And then people maybe make short films, right?
Yeah.
They're advertising their fan film. They might have a table here. And like I said, it's honestly not that expensive. It's a couple $100 to get a table set up.
Yep.
And at a convention like this, you're still going to get tens of thousands of people walking through.
This is always like kind of a fun corner for me because the 501st is here and the Rebel Alliance and the Mandalorians, and you see the big groups of the Star Wars people here. Like, look, here's a whole bunch of stormtroopers
they're coming our way.
Coming in. Earlier, there was this huge gaggle of Jawas all over the BB-8s and the R2s, and it ended up being like 5 or 6 little girls dressed up as Jawas, and they had the voice boxes and everything. It was pretty much my favorite thing of the weekend.
We were harassed earlier also by a bunch of stormtroopers. Stayed perfectly in character.
Yeah.
And they had the voice modulation boxes.
Yeah, it's like fun. You get to play along.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's make a right down here. Small press also. A lot of independent comics.
Yeah.
It's really the fringes of the conventions. Like if it's going to be your first time going to a WonderCon.
Well, you got to just do you have to lap
you got to do every
row.
lap. But in the center, it's the most dense, the most retail heavy. I think is
Yeah.
going to be in the center. You know, you got your loot crates, you got your big T-shirt alley.
Yeah.
You have the DC booth, and it's cool to see some of that stuff there. But if you walk along the fringes of the convention,
Pink Chewbacca and Dangle.
oh my goodness, that is cool.
This is so funny.
Yeah, the fringes is where all the fun stuff really is, and we're actually more breathing room.
Yeah. There's always so much to take in, and you know sometimes these conventions get a little bit repetitive. Like a lot of the booths that you'll see here, you'll also see at San Diego, you'll see at Kamikaze, you'll see it like any of the West Coast or East Coast conventions. Really.
Do you care about the convention exclusives? Like I know some people go to Comic-Con and they wait in line at the Mattel booth, and they just want to buy the thing they're going to sell.
I try to not collect too much. I already have so much stuff.
Right.
But
it's nice to look at do a little window shopping.
Yeah.
Take some pictures.
Well, look at this. Cool. Look at this. There's a Iron Man Mark 1.
That's really neat. Foam cosplay.
High five, Mark 1.
Yeah, this guy's
That's awesome.
That's really neat.
I love seeing all the the ranges of the people and the costumes of what they build. The ranges in skill and detail. It's super fun.
And everyone's really enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, I think probably second to Dragon Con, this is probably the best place for cosplay.
Oh.
I mean, maybe I haven't been to Emerald City, which I hear is awesome.
I hear that's awesome.
So I can't speak on that.
Well, on the West Coast and in the Southern California, it's reliable.
Yeah.
It's reliable, I think, also because there are a lot of cosplay and costumers in this area.
Yeah.
In the Hollywood area.
Oh, you need to see that one, Norm.
Oh.
The samurai.
Oh, yes.
Samurai stormtrooper.
But also.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. It's based on, I think, the
toy.
Bandai
Yeah.
toy. Very cool. But also, I think the cosplayers love coming here because it is a really easy environment to show off your costume.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great photography places. It's easy to get inside the convention and outside the convention.
The awesome Toynami things. You picked up a couple of these earlier?
I confess, I stopped by the Toonami booth and bought some of the Acid Rain figures.
These are so. I want that clear one. I want to paint that one of these days.
Do you get that fear when you see something like this? Like, oh, if I look online, it's going to be more expensive, or it's going to be sold out because it only sold here?
I don't know. It's always a hard kind of balance of, do I think I can make it myself?
Yeah.
Do I think I can find it? Do I need to buy it right this minute? Do I want to carry it around? Like all that stuff kind of adds up. And then also, like a lot of times with toys, we've talked about this a ton before. With toys and kits, like I want to paint them, I want to finish them, I want to put them together.
Well,
that's the experience for me. Like just buying something, opening up the package and putting it on the shelf, that's boring to me.
And that's a perspective, as we've been walking around here earlier, we've been seeing it through that lens as well. We see some toys and like, yes, that looks like a cool kit, but that's there'll be a fun thing to put together and then paint.
Yeah.
Or that even if that's a finished kit already, we can pick it up and then still weather it and paint it.
One of the things that a lot of people have been putting out with, whether it's for kits or whether it's other toys, they put out light and sound kits. Like some of those Lego kits that we were talking about before, the Ghostbusters ones. People put out lighting kits for the Ecto-1 and for the house, and now people are putting out lighting kits for model kits.
Right. You might find some of those people with booths here.
Yeah, I want to modify all my stuff. I want to like tweak it and change it, and I want to mess with it.
Absolutely.
Well, that's where the entertainment comes from me. Like, I don't know. I want to interact with that other than putting it on a shelf.
And of course, because WonderCon originated as a comic book convention, there is still a healthy amount of comics here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It's always fun to stop on the last day. Not today. We're here on Saturday.
Yeah.
But if we're here on Sunday, Sunday's a really
Darkwing
good
Duck.
day to pick up graphic novels. There, yep, Darkwing Duck cosplay. I like that. Pick up some trade paperbacks on the last day because the retailers don't want to bring that stuff back home.
Want to jump out and check out some cosplay.
Absolutely. You know, this being the first major convention we're at this year gets me excited for the conventions we have coming up, the Comic-Cons and the Dragon Cons. And I know Adam already has some ideas for what type of costumes he might want to bring to those conventions.
Yep.
But what about you? What about us?
What about us? I know that's always the hard thing is what the hell are we going to do?
Well, what about that? You want to do a Reinhardt from
No, I do not want to do it. That Reinhardt was last year. Everybody did Reinhardt's last year.
And they're impressive. I mean,
no, they're neat. They're nice and big. I like the green one.
I do love that.
That green one's pretty cool.
All the moss around it.
Yeah, all the alternate skins for the video games. You can just kind of keep building those things.
I like that giant hammer accessory.
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
I don't know what I want to build yet this year.
I mean, you've done the Rancor. It was something of a larger scale.
Yeah.
Do you want to do something that's more like a big scale?
There is a big scale thing I want to do, and we've talked about this before. And I'm sure one of these days I'll get around to it.
That's a really cool Buzz Lightyear Stormtrooper mashup.
I'm going to see. I still want to do a Buzz Lightyear really bad.
Buzz Lightyear?
Really, really bad.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's great.
And like out here, this is exactly the reason I think WonderCon is so great for cosplayers, is because we're in the shade here. It's a beautiful environment, and the lighting's great, and you have photographers that get set up with lighting. You can see some of the photographers' light setups right there, and they get to have their photo galleries taken. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. Yeah, let's head over to the water fountain.
Yeah, water fountain's usually where the meetups end up. And probably, like, this outside of WonderCon is different than, like, San Diego. Like, San Diego, it's so big and so spread out, there isn't this, like, one gathering spot.
When you're on the street, on the sidewalk of San Diego, you're really just trying to get to a hotel.
Yeah.
Get to food. People aren't hanging out like they are here. And you see, if you look around, it's just people chatting.
Yeah.
Everyone's in their groups. Maybe they met up online. Maybe they plan to be here. And they're just getting their photos taken and doing their meetups. Like 2 different Indiana Jones groups.
Nice.
Look at that.
Over there too. That's awesome.
It gets me excited.
Yeah, we need to figure out what we're going to do. Right in the comments, what do you think me and Norm should do?
Yes.
Give us some ideas.
Give us some ideas.
We have a huge list of ideas. We just need to figure out, I don't know, figure out what we want to do. I want to do something original. I want to do something that I haven't seen done competently.
Right. Done well.
Yeah, there's
Take
a lot
on
of
a challenge.
which makes it hard every year because everybody keeps getting better and better, and people spend more and more time on their stuff. It makes it hard for people like us because we end up turning something around in a couple of weeks. And the bar is just so high, and we can see that here with some of these costumes.
Absolutely. So we're ending up here in the front of WonderCon. We're going to stay in the shade and not get up right in the sun there because that's Sunburn Alley. But that's a small taste of what it's like to walk through a big convention like this. One of our favorite conventions,
absolutely.
For sure. And I think it's going to be in Anaheim for years to come.
Oh, I hope so.
And we'll see you guys. We'll have plenty more videos from the show, from WonderCon.
Yep.
But we'll see you guys in the comments below and on Tested. Until then, Frank and I will see ya.